Hey guys, it is Friday here in West Virginia, so it's time for us to do our Free It Friday. And today we have a few Hollywood cars from Greenlight. Couple of them were not in the thumbnail photo because they're loose, and that's the only way I could get these cars is loose. So I forgot to even bring one off the lot back there and show you guys. And this one I don't think I've shown you before. I may have shown it to you a couple years ago when I had it in the Philippines, but I ended up getting rid of it. And then I finally came across another one for a very fair price. I think I got it for like $6 or something like that, $7. But this is a 71 Challenger from the 10-car Hollywood set that Greenlight made probably, I don't know, 10 years ago. And it was, I believe, a Toys R Us exclusive, like most of their box sets were, like the Hot Pursuit box sets, the Route 66 box sets. They were all Toys R Us exclusives. I think most of the tins were also the like 4-car tin sets. But anyways, this is the NCIS Jethro Gibbs Challenger. When he came up on it again or went back to his dad's place and got it, I don't remember. I didn't really watch the show that much, but I do remember he had this as a younger gentleman and then put it away in storage or sold it or something, and then came across it again and then restored it. But what's weird, and as I said, I don't follow the show, is that this one that needs resto is a 71, but most of the other releases are 70s. Like the latest one, I think, is the Hitch and Tow set with the Dodge Ram and the enclosed trailer with the Challenger, and the Challenger is a 70, so that's kind of odd. But anyways, yeah, this is a cool one. Very hard to come across. As I said, it's from a box set that was out about, I don't know, it was at least 10 years ago. There's a couple of like patinaed up, weathered, barn find type of cars in there. There is a 65, 66 Mustang Fastback from the movie Fright Night. And then there is I think a dirty Smoking the Bandit 2 Trans Am. I don't think it needs restored, but it's kind of dirty. And then there was another car that I think had some primer spots on it, but I can't remember what it was. But yeah, cool car. As you can see, it's just a blue engine, probably just like a 340 or something, 318 maybe, and nicely detailed. The only thing is, like, the rust spots are shiny and not really detailed that well and not really placed that well either. And the gray primered fender is glossy. There's a couple downsides to the car, but still not a bad one to throw in like my diorama as I had it. Now the next one is also a box set exclusive. This car I just got in the mail today. This is a hard one to find too. This came from the 4-car tin of Supernatural, and there's actually, I think, 2, maybe 3 different tins for Supernatural. This is, I believe, Bobby's 69 Roadrunner, and it actually, you could fill this tampo. It's like rippled on the car. It's supposed to make it look like it has runs in the paint, like not really runs in the paint, but like when something's weathered and it sets under like a rain gutter for a long time, that the weather, the rain will actually start wearing a pattern into the side of the car. So that's kind of what it did to this one. And it has one gray primer door and it has the same effect on it. It actually looks better in pictures than it does on a video. But this is another one that I got for a very fair price. I think it was like $7 or $8. And the only way to really get it is to buy that tin. And it looks like it's got a dual quad Hemi down in there. But very cool car. Happy to have that one too. And its number is 2138. That's one thing I did not check on this one. And I'll show you guys is the number on the base, if it even has one. Yeah, that one does have one. And it looks like $34.71, something like that. I don't know how many of the box sets or tins and stuff are made. I don't think there's very many of them. I know the Route 66 box set of 15 cars, there is less than 5,000 of those made, I believe. But yeah, anyways, these guys are cool additions to the junkyard. As you can see, it's growing. It's growing too big for the diorama. I'm going to have to start putting some of these into my little jammer case and set it up with like maybe only 20 cars on display, because I still have more coming. Not a ton of them, but a few. I have that new Mischief Hot Wheel coming. I got lucky and got 2 of those, so we'll be doing an unboxing video on those whenever I get them. But anyways, back to our Hollywood ride. So this is our first package one. This is another one that came up at a very fair price. This is the Jake and Elwood's Bluesmobile from the Blues Brothers, and this is an oldie. This is from Series 1 of Greenlight Hollywood. So pretty cool. I think it's in Series 1 somewhere on here. I know my police car did, but this may be the second release of it. I'm not 100% sure. Let's see the copyright date here. Yeah, it's the second release, 2020. But still, yeah, I don't care if it's first, second, or whatever it may be, because I just want the car. I don't even care. I'm not even keeping it in the package. As usual, I cut the back like a door so I could pop it open, and it just gives you a little rundown on the Blues Brothers movie. And this is a 74 Dodge Monaco that was left over from the police fleet. And this is a very cool one. This is done very well with the weathering stuff. It's got a knocked out back window, which is really cool. The faded stars on the doors and the faded P1 and the other like fleet number on the quarter panels faded out, and it's got that rust hue all over the car. Very well done with the weathering from Greenlight. Dulled out dirty windows and such. It's much better than the Challenger and the Roadrunner I just showed you, but the Challenger and Roadrunner are still pretty cool. And this one probably is not going to be numbered because of it being a newer release. Yeah, I don't think it is. But anyways, as I said, I don't really care about that. I'm just glad to have this in my lineup of clunkers, and it is a Mopar, so that makes it even better. But the last two we're showing you guys are Chevys, and the one I'm probably going to get criticized on because it really doesn't say anything about Hollywood on it, as you can see here. But this whole release of GL Muscle, I think it's, let's see, Series 17, they had the whole lineup representing Fast and Furious cars. This is supposed to be like Dom Chevelle after he takes it and primers it. And then they had the Fastback 67 Mustang from Tokyo Nights, or Tokyo Drift. And it, I don't know if it was running the Nissan engine or not. Probably not. But anyways, the car looked the part, and then they had the blow-in 70 Charger in the lineup. They had the 70 or 71 Challenger, the orange one from Too Fast, Too Furious, and then they had a blue Skyline R34 to represent Brian's R34, and then all of them looked just like a Fast and Furious car, and they were all in this series 17, and they didn't claim to be anything to do with Fast and Furious at all. I guess this is when they didn't have licensing. But I grabbed this one because I'm going to put it inside the building, because this is where they're kind of doing the restoration work. They're taking all these cars in the back one by one, fully restoring them. It's kind of like the story that I have for this, the background story of the diorama. Mr. Norm's is kind of easy. This one, you have to be a little bit more creative with the background story. So this being in gray primer looks like one that was just like freshly done up well, the body work was freshly done anyways, and it's getting ready to be painted because everything else is clean. You got a set of nice torque thrust wheels on it, and then you got a nice clean engine compartment with a 454 under the hood. Nice chrome and everything. The only thing I have to say is that this is a little bit small for 164. This is one of Greenlight's like underscaled cars. They have a couple, but this one, and I'll show you when we do our next one, but it's still nice and it still will fit in most dioramas. But if you have it next to like an M2 Chevelle, then you might notice a little bit of a difference in size, but it's still a cool car. I do like it. But there is something up with the rear wheel openings, but I can't really put my finger on it. The worst muscle car that they make is the 69 Camaro. That is horribly done in my opinion. The fenders and quarter panels are way too tall above the wheel opening. What they did, they took their 67, 68 model with the more contoured quarters and fenders, and they redid the mold where they just filled part of the wheel opening so it would look like a 69. They squared off the tops, and well, yeah, it looks really bad. If you're a fanatic about 69 Camaros and you had one or have seen a lot of them in person like myself, then you would agree. But if you're a novice with muscle cars and stuff, it will probably pass for you. But yeah, it's not going to pass for purists. So anyways, next is the Beverly Hills Cop 70 Chevrolet Nova. And what was really cool is I seen this car again in the new Axel Foley movie at the very beginning. That was really cool to see them bring back the Nova. Probably not the same exact car that was used in the first one, but it did resemble the one from the first one. So that was kind of cool to see that. And just your Beverly Hills Cop on the back, and Greenlight, where to find them online. So this kind of gives you a little bit of a story. Or no story, I'm sorry. The other one gave you a little bit of a story, like the Blues Brothers one. And then the GL Muscle Chevelle, no story about the movie because it doesn't say anything about it, the movie, because of licensing stuff, but it does tell you about the car's statistics. But anyways, let's get this Nova out and take a look at it. And this is one that I will praise Greenlight on. This is probably the best second-gen Nova on the market. There's not a lot of them. I know Johnny Lightning does one, Hot Wheels does one, and this is a beautifully done one. Johnny Lightning's is not too bad, but this is better. But Johnny Lightning's is a decent looking one. And this car, the patina on it, is another one that's nicely done. The faded bluish paint, the faded white top, dirty windows, and just the faded out chrome. And under the hood isn't too dingy, but somewhat the windows are a little bit too dirty in some ways, but still very nicely done. The dirty tires and such. Now, bringing back the Chevelle. Now, looking at the Chevelle next to the Nova, they're, I don't know, pretty much the same size. And a 70 Chevelle is a little bigger than a 70 Nova, and these are kind of the same size. But I don't know, the Chevelle kind of does fit. It's not too bad. As I said, I don't have any issues with it. It just sometimes looks a little bit small for 1/64th, and there's something up with the rear wheel well openings, but not too bad. And anyways, there are a lot worse castings out there of Chevelles and things like that, but this one is not that bad. As I said, it's somewhat looks a little small, but as I said, it'll fit in some dioramas. And the Nova is awesome. I love the Nova by Greenlight. And then I have it parked back there next to the one we unboxed the other week in that Mac tool set. And this is a 69 SS, and they just look really cool sitting next to each other. So, anyways, I'm on this patina weathered barnyard fine car thing. So, yeah, I'm buying a few more. As I said, they're on their way here. We'll be doing unboxings on them for the next couple of weeks, and then maybe I'll move on to something different. I'm still looking for some really nice, like, Mopars that are clean for the dealership diorama that I can kind of rotate around sometimes. So I'm always on the lookout for those. And then anything I can get for retail at Walmart, I always try to grab and do videos on it for you guys. So be sure to turn on your notification bell. That way you know whenever we do have a video launch, because sometimes we just do them randomly by surprise. So thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy your long Memorial Day weekend. And we'll be back on Memorial Day, Monday. I'm sorry, it's Labor Day, not Memorial Day. Labor Day weekend, and I'll be back on Labor Day to do a Mopar Monday for you guys. So be sure to tune back in for that. So enjoy, guys. See you later.